In 1792, the French Revolution was in full swing. The streets were filled with revolutionary fervor and the air was thick with the scent of blood. The traditional methods of execution, such as hanging or beheading, were proving insufficient to keep up with the demands of the revolution. The guillotine was invented as a new and more humane method of execution. The origins of the guillotine can be traced back to an earlier time, when beheading was the favored method of execution in France. This method was viewed as quick and humane, but it was not without its flaws. The executioner would often botch the job, leaving the victim alive and suffering for several agonizing moments. It was also a messy process, with blood and guts splattering everywhere. Despite these flaws, beheading remained the preferred method of execution until the French Revolution. The revolutionaries were dissatisfied with this method, as they saw it as too slow and too prone to error. They wanted a method of execution that was fast, effective, and could be carried out on a mass scale. Enter Dr. Joseph Ignace Guillotine, a doctor and member of the National Assembly. Guillotine was concerned that beheading was not as humane as it could be, and he began to formulate a new method of execution. His idea was to create a machine that would slice off the head cleanly and efficiently, with minimal pain and suffering for the victim. After many years of experimentation, Guillotine finally hit upon the perfect design for his machine. It consisted of a gate that would slam shut and hold the victim's neck in place, while a blade fell down and cleanly sliced off the head. The whole process would take just seconds, and the victim would be dead before they knew what had happened. The guillotine was first used on April 25, 1792, to execute a highwayman named Nicolas Jacques Pelletier. The crowd that had gathered to watch was stunned by how quickly and cleanly the execution was carried out. There was no blood or gore, and the victim's suffering was minimal. The guillotine was an instant success, and it quickly became the preferred method of execution in France. In the years that followed, thousands of people were executed by guillotine. The machine was used not just in France, but in many other countries as well. It was seen as a symbol of the power of the state, and it struck fear into the hearts of those who would dare to challenge the established order. Despite its popularity, the guillotine was not without its critics. Many argued that it was still a cruel and inhumane method of execution, no matter how quick and painless it appeared to be. Some even claimed that it was a form of torture, as the victim was forced to witness their own execution. As the years went by, the use of the guillotine began to decline. Many countries abolished the death penalty altogether, while others switched to more modern methods of execution, such as lethal injection. Today, the guillotine is largely seen as a relic of a bygone era, a reminder of a time when violence and bloodshed were seen as the only way to bring about change. In conclusion, the invention of the guillotine was a significant moment in the history of the French Revolution. It was a symbol of the power of the state, and it helped to quell the unrest that had been boiling over in the streets. While it may seem barbaric to us today, it was viewed as a more humane method of execution at the time. Whether we view it with horror or fascination, the guillotine remains a powerful symbol of the human capacity for violence and cruelty.